Hey guys, it's Lonely Fanboy Volley here, and I'm gonna bring you another rant. This time it's gonna be on another wrestling company called TNA, Total Nonstop Action. If you saw my last video about me talking about this company, well, about me saying that this company is about to die this year, it's because they really lost a lot of money and there's so much problems. And secondly, the reason why I'm ranting on this is because this is one of my favorite wrestling companies of all time, aside with WWE, but I'll talk about that later. Anyway, let's talk about this company. TNA Wrestling is a wrestling company just like WWE, and it came into the wrestling business in 2002. Now, throughout those years in the earlier days, they were pretty good. They had a good start. And then they had a very good end of the year of 2009. I know I'm not getting into a lot of topics on what years that TNA did great. I'm just going to get into the year where it became the downfall. Now, I know that some wrestling fans say that Vince Russo is the reason why TNA is dead. Well, Hulk Hogan is. And trust me, Hulk Hogan did really badly in TNA. Anyway, let's just get into the problems between that. In case if you don't know, Hulk Hogan returned all the old guys from WWE, and it's a very big problem because most of the guys who were in different wrestling companies were one of the contributing factors of the demise of those companies. Like, Hulk Hogan was the one that completely made WCW came out of business, even though that there were other problems going on, but he's one of them. And Bubba the Love Sponge, I'll get to him later. And wrestlers like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, they can't wrestle anymore. Well, Kevin Nash can wrestle, but Scott Hall can't since he's so out of shape during that time in 2010. Now, yes, did complete in wrestling in TNA in 2002. However, he was still fresh at that time, and during that time, he quit WWE to move on to a different wrestling company. Now, back then, TNA was fine. It was still brand new in 2002, and it didn't have any pay-per-views at all. As for Scott Hall, as of 2010, really not that good. Because he really didn't work out a lot, and he was really getting old. I mean, during that time in 2010, he should be retired. He shouldn't compete in ring action. And that's not one of the only problems in TNA. The problems with TNA is that they bring back stars who are way too old to wrestle, like Ric Flair. They completely made Ric Flair compete in action in TNA after he got retired at WrestleMania 24. Look, I can go on and on about that topic, but you pretty much know that Ric Flair shouldn't have wrestled to begin with. TNA was fine before 2010. During that time, they had great matches, and even though they had plenty of bad pay-per-views like Victory World 2009, they were still going strong. I know that Vince Russo was taking over of that wrestling company during that time, but TNA was still fine for what it is. I know some wrestling fans say that the downfall of TNA started in 2008. Well, in my opinion, the downfall started in 2010. Anyway, let's get into Bubba the Love Sponge. Oh my god. There's a lot to talk about this. In case if you don't know this, there was an earthquake in Haiti, and TNA wrestlers also helped the people at Haiti who are suffering. And then when they get back home, Bubba the Love Sponge says this: F Haiti. I'm not kidding. Look, I know that this was 7 years old, but that is still disrespectful even to this day. And then when Awesome Kong punched him, he got fired because of violence. Seriously, I know that violence isn't the answer to everything, but seriously, assaulting someone else's home is just unacceptable. The fact that Bubba the Love Sponge just completely insulted the people at Haiti who did nothing to him. Really? Oh my god. I got nothing to say about it. Except that TNA just lost one of the best women wrestlers, Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong was just awesome. She really did great in matches, and she's one of the contributors to TNA. And then, because of that, oh my god. Ugh. Seriously. Even 7 years later, I'm still upset by this. I really do. Anyway, let's get into the 2011 part. Well, things just get worse and worse. 2011 was a really poor year. Let's start with Victory Road, 2011. Oh my god. Some of the matches were good, but some of the matches were really poor, especially that TNA hired ECW wrestlers like Tommy Dreamer. And they keep pushing old WWE guys on the top all the time, and they never get one of their own stars to the top. That's one of the problems in TNA, is that they completely push WWE guys and not their own stars. That's why TNA has keep sinking over the years. I know that TNA wants to be like WWE, but you have to be an alternative. Anyway, let's get into the infamous match between Sting and Jeff Hardy. Now, I'm a big fan of Jeff Hardy. Even though he left in 2009 out of the WWE, he is still one of my favorite WWE guys. However, in TNA, he did a couple of good matches, but he started to do smoking. I'm not kidding. He was smoking in TNA. Why is this a problem when you keep smoking? It's because he won't be able to wrestle good in the lane. And not only that, he did drugs. And guess what happened in Victory Road 2011? The main event was Sting versus Jeff Hardy for the World Champion. And Jeff Hardy wasn't able to do anything. He can't walk. He can't do anything. And at the beginning of this match, he was about to throw his shirt away, but it took like 40 seconds. And then he didn't do anything at all. In fact, Sting just completely took care of this match. This match was less than a minute and a half, because Jeff Hardy was on drugs. Where do I even begin with this? I kind of excuse the fact that Jeff Hardy was high, but TNA, no wrestling company will allow this. Not even WWE. This is why some of the wrestlers got suspended from WWE, because they were doing drugs. And when TNA just allowed this to happen on their pay-per-views, that is just unacceptable. In fact, they gave refunds to one of the fans because of the main event. Man. Seriously, this is why drugs is a bad thing in wrestling, because you can't wrestle, you can't do anything, and when you're high, you can't wrestle. Man, I mean, I love Jeff Hardy, but seeing that, at least he learns his mistake after Victory Road. Man. I know I keep jumping into topic and topic again and again. Well, the problems in TNA were really bad. Like when Ric Flair made AJ Styles a heel. Look, I know that Ric Flair loves to see AJ Styles as the next Ric Flair, and in fact, AJ Styles is just great as Ric Flair. However, turning him into a heel in 2010 just doesn't work. In fact, people love AJ Styles as a face. If you're gonna turn AJ Styles a heel, do it the right way. Don't make him a cheater. Make him a great wrestler. But oh my god. Ric Flair may be a great legend and a Hall of Famer, but he's not a great manager of AJ Styles. Anyway, what should I get into is that TNA has been whipping off WWE ideas. Don't believe me? When Sting defeated Hulk Hogan at Bound for Glory, a very poor match, he took over the company, and guess what? They made him do the exact same things that Triple H did in WWE. I'm not making this up. Look, I know that if you guys ever watched TNA and never watched WWE, you probably won't figure this out about the comparisons between both of those companies during that time, but even if you haven't, it would still be a problem. I mean, TNA just treats the audience like idiots, like they never watched WWE at all. They use Sting for ideals from WWE, just makes the promotion even more worse. Now, I know that TNA wants to be like WWE, but the problem with that is that's still whipping off ideals in a bad way. And the problems I can think of is that the AJ Styles and Dixie Carter feud, which is a whip-off of The Authority and Daniel Bryan. Now, why is this a problem? Unlike the Authority feud between Daniel Bryan, this is just completely unnecessary. I mean, I know that AJ Styles' contract is getting expired because of TNA not paying their own talent and stuff, and other stuff, but when they made a storyline about this, it just doesn't work. Because unlike Daniel Bryan that came to the WWE in 2010, AJ Styles has been in this company since 2002. And completely trashing him because Dixie Carter completely made him, it just doesn't work. In fact, it just makes the feud even more stupider and more blander. And not only that, at the end of the rivalry, they pulled the CM Punk going away from WWE forever in 2011 feud, which is even more stupid. I'm sorry for the pausing. I just can't think of anything what TNA's doing anymore. Especially when they try to be like WWE, even though they're supposed to be an alternative like everything else. Let's get into the match between Magnus and AJ Styles in 2014, even though it was taped in 2013. Before any of you asks, I think Magnus is a very great wrestler. However, his execution on TNA is just bad in 2013 through 2014. Seriously, he has no reason to be a heel. I mean, the problem with him being a heel is that TNA made him a cheater out of nowhere. Like, seriously. I just really got nothing. In fact, his match between Sting was bad, but he was a face. I literally don't understand why TNA has to make Magnus a face in order to face AJ Styles. And let's get into the match. And oh boy, you won't believe what I'm gonna say here. The entire match from beginning to end, there was a lot of interferencing because Dixie Carter made a no disqualification rule. And throughout this entire match, AJ Styles just completely gets finished and completely beaten up by everyone, and Magnus barely did anything at all, except with kicking, and that's it. Oh my god. People despise this match because of the decisions of Dixie Carter. Dixie Carter is really out of her mind when it comes to making a wrestling company. I would never allow any of this to happen in my wrestling promotion. Even if one of my wrestlers aren't as good as the wrestler who's about to leave my company, I would still try my best to make the real champion better than the used to be champion.